Hello and welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I've recorded on here. A lot has changed. I have a mic and I also recently got the tripod that has been just like in my face on TikTok shop. It's the one that goes up to um 5'6" and then it has like the two ring lights. I think it's starting to get a little easier for me to record, especially for wanting to record like when I'm sitting down. I don't have to worry about like propping my phone up certain areas because I will be continuing to record on my phone for quite some time. I wanted to get into my December TBR and kind of go over what I've been currently reading. So as of right now, I am reading Never Lie by Frida McFadden. Obviously, this is one that people talk about very often. It's one of people's favorites, so I have been very excited to get into this. Also, my manager at work, we're like pretty close. We get each other's humor. It's a lot of banter. We talk about books often, and she has been like bothering me to read this one, and so I finally started it for her, and she's annoyed because I'm only halfway. But I've been liking that one so far. The way it started out, it was feeling more like paranormal, which like I love that stuff. Like I'm not bothered by it. If the twist is like supernatural, like I'm not pissed off. I kind of love that. I know it's not going to go that way just because so many people love this book. And I know with like other books that have had supernatural reveals, people aren't that crazy about it. So I just know it's not going to go that route. And like, as far as I know, Frida's never done that. I'm still excited to get to the reveal, and I do obviously have my own theories, and I feel like I'm getting a little too confident with that. But I'm currently reading that. I've also been listening to the Brown Sisters trilogy. So I started off, obviously, with Get a Life, Chloe Brown. I might end up doing a separate review for that trilogy on here, maybe even including like a wrap up of the past month or the last few reads that I've done, just to kind of like keep you guys up to date and have like a capsule of what I've even read and my thoughts on it outside of Goodreads. But I will say that has overall been like a solid 3, and I'm really early on in Take a Hint, Denny Brown, Danny Brown, and then I'll obviously move on to Act Your Age, Eve Brown. If you've read that trilogy, like please let me know, like if you had a favorite book or love story, like how you would rank each of the sisters and like their love interests. Like it doesn't have to like match up like with their partners. I'm just always curious like what other people's thoughts are when it comes to a series like that. For my December TBR, I have 2 that I've been reading on my Kindle app because I'm not quite yet a Kindle girly. I'm getting it for either my birthday or Christmas, which are like really close together. I'm not sure which yet. Those 2 books are ARCs, and then the other 2 are physical. So I really do hope I end up getting through my whole entire December TBR. I think with the fact that I'm like flying home for Christmas, that'll obviously give me plenty of time to focus on that. For my physical TBR, I have 2 that are like very popular, well-known, big authors that I have yet to read either of their books. So first one is Stephen King's The Shining. As someone who claims to be a Stephen King fan, I've never read a book, which I can like feel people judging me through the screen, but for me it's like it's about the vibes, it's about the horror, it's about like I watch all the movies. That's where like me becoming a fan is like coming from, obviously. And yeah, I just love a horror icon. So The Shining is honestly one of my favorite movies. If I have to, I would probably place it at my like 3rd favorite, which may be bold, but I love it so much. I watch it multiple times a year, especially during like winter time, because obviously it's within that setting. So it makes it also perfect for reading during December. I don't think it's one that necessarily needs any kind of like explanation or introduction, but the Torrance families are the families, there's multiple. The Torrance family becomes the caretakers for the Overlook Hotel during its off season, and just the overall like energy from this hotel and the history and the isolation is really getting to Jack the dad, while his son is dealing with like his own like supernatural like, his abilities with The Shining. I am curious to see like how it compares to the movie and if I will prefer the movie over this just because I've been obsessed with that for so long, or if I'll like become a book girly with this. And staying at the Stanley Hotel has always been on my bucket list because of this book. So one day I will get there, and probably when I go, I will like most likely reread this. And then another classic that I have is Agatha Christie's Murder on the Orient Express. I have never read anything from her, but I love that like this month I'm really just diving into new authors, both ones that I've already heard a lot about and some not as much. with both of these authors, like Stephen King is such a horror icon, and I feel like Agatha Christie is that mystery icon. So it's really exciting to kind of like read from the best or like well known from each of their genres. And even though this is another one that doesn't need an introduction, you're getting one anyway. So obviously everyone is on the murder. Everyone is on the Orient Express, and one man turns up dead in his cabin that was locked from the inside. So, a lot of mystery surrounding that, and the detective is trying to solve the case before someone strikes again. So, this is really exciting, and it's a lot of like isolation in the snowstorms with this one and The Shining. If you've read like either of those books, let me know your thoughts, or if you have like other books that you prefer from this author, if this was one of your top reads from them. So let me know your like comparison between different works of theirs, and if you'd like recommend more in the future. Now moving on to the arcs that I have. One just recently came out November 27th, so you can go ahead and get that one if you were interested. It is Under Her Skin by Jessica Huntley. This one deals with a mother whose teenage son has gotten into trouble with some dangerous people, and she's trying to find a way out of the situation. And she's just a struggling mother who's trying to make ends meet and also deals with like crippling anxiety, which I wasn't expecting to have that representation in there, but it is really nice to see. While she's like trying to figure out what's best for them, they end up inheriting a home from a distant, like estranged relative. So once they're out there, there's a local handyman that's very welcoming to them and is able to help with any renovations they're dealing with. But he gets a little too comfortable with them and acting as if he is like one of the family, which is like the weirdest, creepiest thing to just show up to a house that you don't even know from a relative you don't know and have this man pretend like he is family. Please go away. So not only is she dealing with that and trying to protect her son, she's dealing with now like the new secrets that are coming out about this home, and finally starting to question like, why are we the ones that inherited this? So I've been excited about that one, and I just recently started, and I'm not really far in. Like I'm at the stage now where she's like trying to figure out what her next plan is, and like so we haven't inherited the home yet, but I'm excited to like get to that house and things start to really go down. And the last book that is also an arc is The House Swap by Miranda Reichs. Another one that I've been highly anticipating out of the arcs that I do have. It's kind of clear from the title, but two families end up swapping homes. One, they are trying to sort of rekindle that flame within their relationship and get that spark back. So they're like whisked off to, I believe they're the ones that end up going to Paris, while the other couple takes their family over to, I believe it's like somewhere in the UK, honestly might be London, just to be able to show like their child their old like stomping grounds, like where they used to be, and like have that special moment with their family. And things are perfect for both families until one deals with the kidnapping and the other deals with the home burglary. So I have so many questions with this already. I just need to know how well these families know each other. Like, are they close friends? Like, did they just find each other online? Like, hey, you want to swap homes? Is this a Craigslist ad? Could you imagine? That's what the story is. It's just a creepy person with Craigslist ads to like torment people about swapping homes. Um, so yeah, I have no idea if like they swapped and like anticipated this and like set each other up. I don't know if there's like weird connections that way. I genuinely have no clue. So I'm very excited to see like what reveals there and like all of the families like secrets and what they're hiding within each of their homes, what they're going to discover about each other. But yeah, those two I'm very excited about, and that one released December 4th, so very soon. So yeah, that's kind of just where I stand with my TBR currently. I haven't really dove into any of them, but Under Her Skin. Hopefully I'll be able to fly through my other arc as well so I can get those done and reviewed on NetGalley for them, and then dive into The Shining. And I think I want to finish The Shining before I go home for Christmas so that I can like take this on the plane. I think that'll be like the best option. And obviously, like I wish I could have gotten more books in, especially like this last month before the year is up. It just always happens that way. I get so distracted and don't take the time to read as often as I would like throughout the week. I just think it's funny looking back now because like we were all very excited to make the Tim before the end videos. Girl, I'm not even touching that. I honestly think like out of my list, I only have maybe one or two of the books that were on my 10 before the end or even on this TBR this month. And I think it's mainly just because I realized, okay, let me actually prioritize what books I need to get to versus like just wanting to. And so I'm pretty pleased with like the TBR that I have for December. I would die to get to Caraval so bad this year, but I just don't know if it's gonna happen. Like maybe by like New Year, that would be a fun New Year's read. And I do know that my sister's getting me like the rest of the series for like birthday or Christmas. Not the very last one, Spectacular though, because I want it in paperback with the others. So if you off chance have any of these on your TBR or if you've read them before, let me know what your thoughts were. Send me your Goodreads reviews. I love to read reviews. If you don't have any of these, please feel free to share your TBRs with me in the comments. I This month I also have plans for vlogmas. It'll be my first vlogmas ever, so I'm really really excited to get into that. I have kind of ideas enough to do like 2 a week. I feel like that's biting off more than I can probably chew, especially if I'm trying to finish all these books. But I can probably make like obviously like content surrounding reading these. I do really want to try to do another 24-hour reading challenge. I feel like I actually got a lot reading done whenever I did it last time, like a lot more than I expected, because I expected to get pretty distracted during that, but I did pretty well. So I might do another one. I'll probably also do like little mini vlogs for December on my TikTok as well. So there's like content on like both ends that are a little different, but just still like a little bookish, some not, just like cozy winter things. If you've also done vlogmas here on booktube, which I've seen like people call it bookmas, like what are we calling it, because that's really cute too. But if you've done it before and you have certain like tips that you like swear by, or you have done videos in the past, like certain ideas that you really really loved and would recommend doing, please send them my way. I'm down to like try anything for vlogmas. So I will see you shortly, and I will give obviously recaps of all these books, do a big recap at the end of the year of like if I finished these or not. And yeah, I hope everyone has a great December. I know it's harder to get through some books with the holidays coming up, but here's to all of us finishing our TBRs. Thank you. Bye.